Welcome to A Closer Look at Castries South, the only podcast to tell you everything you need to know about your constituency and your parliamentary rep. Stay tuned, it's going to be a wild ride. During the week of September 24th to 28th, 2024, St. Lucians from all walks of life came together in an unparalleled show of public unity to welcome home our sprint sensation, the world's queen of the track, Julien Alfred. It was amazing and indeed overwhelming to witness the tremendous outpouring of love and support bestowed upon her during those well-deserved festivities. What was on display during these 5 days of celebration was a palpable demonstration of national pride and unity, most tangibly expressed in the adorning of the island's flags and national colors. Black, blue, white and gold, as the riveting chants of "I am a damn proud Lucian" echoed across the island. Without a doubt, at that moment, pride, jubilation and hope were coursing through the veins of every St. Lucian. Importantly also, her achievement presented St. Lucia and its leaders a timely and rare opportunity to unite a country that has for the past 3 years become increasingly divided and polarized by the constant spewing of inflammatory rhetoric, most fittingly reflected in the "Protecting the Victory" slogan and the stoking of the flames of racial and political tribalism in St. Lucia at every conceivable opportunity. Contrast this with the "Let Her Inspire You" tagline, which was spearheaded by the UWP in 2017 under the leadership of the Minister of Tourism Dominic Fede, when St. Lucia's tourism product was rebranded. Indeed, the tagline was visionary and prophetic of Julien's future success. Now that the dust has settled, we are duty-bound, like any mature society, to clinically interrogate the festivities and probe further to uncover the true intentions that were at play. Also, to highlight glaring concerns and to proffer recommendations for future consideration. Before doing so, we wish to publicly acknowledge and congratulate the government of St. Lucia for the generosity bestowed and the range of gifts granted Julien, all of which are much deserved. But we could have gone further, and we could have been more inclusive by soliciting the public's input, including her beloved Cicero community, into how best Julien should have been celebrated and honored. This would have been a rare display of inclusive and participatory governance, sending a clear message to St. Lucians that the government, which claims to put people first, actually values the input of its citizenry and actively solicits their ideas and suggestions. But upon reflection, it is clear that beneath the surface of the celebrations was an otherwise concealed, well-orchestrated, desperate and deliberate effort by some to capitalize on and leverage Juju's success and credibility to bolster their own waning political approval rating. A question which immediately jumps out was this only about Julien Alfred and St. Lucia, or was the St. Lucia Labour Party quietly trying to profit from the opportunity to stem the hemorrhaging of a political party quickly losing popularity with its base and the trust of the public? This was most evident by the not surprisingly poor attendance of supporters of the SLP's Castries South annual general meeting on 21st September, who are increasingly feeling neglected, isolated, and betrayed by the parliamentary rep and seemingly quietly abandoning the SLP ship. We have taken notice of other SLP AGMs and by every metric Castries South was undoubtedly the worst, attended only by a narrow contingent of elitist comrades who are not registered voters in Castries South, but have certainly benefited from the trust and confidence reposed in Dr. Hilaire by Castries South constituents through their parliamentary representatives' high public office. Make no mistake, what is being played out right before our eyes and sadly eludes the less discerning is nothing short of the elite comrade capture of the votes and voters of Castries South. Against such a backdrop, it is not surprising that attempts were made to parasitically benefit from Julien Alfred's success and the associated celebration activities. To start off the investigation, we will interrogate the involvement of Cicero constituents, in particular the community of Cicero. It is clear that once again the community of Cicero was sacrificed on the altar of propping up the parliamentary rep. A cursory inspection of the community ahead of Julien's visit, one would find that only the parliamentary rep's office was decorated with bunting and national flags. In Julien's community of Monkeytown, there was no effort made by the rep to decorate, let alone clean and give this community, which is desperately in need of infrastructure upgrade, at a minimum a facelift. It took a right-thinking supporter of the SLP and an upstanding member of the community to take the initiative upon himself to mobilize the young men to clean and decorate the entrance of Monkeytown, something we wish to publicly laud. The rep, however, in his customary intellectually dishonest modus operandi, proceeded to take photos of the hard work of this community member and post them on his Facebook page, and did not direct credit to where credit was certainly due. Bigger question that emerges is that Dr. Hilaire, knowing full well of the spotlight Julien's visit would place on the decrepit conditions of the public infrastructure in Monkeytown, that he did all within his power to avoid her motorcade from traversing this area. In fact, the information suggests that Cicero was not part of the original motorcade route, but after being informed that the community would be extremely irate, a diversion was quickly devised to avoid the impending fury of the Cicero community. When Julien finally arrived in her home community of Cicero on Tuesday, 24th September, the day of her homecoming at approximately 6:30 p.m., residents looked forward to a genuine celebration and outpouring of community love from family, neighbors, and friends of our Juju. This was a moment that we, the people of Cicero, long and eagerly awaited since Julien's historic achievement of gold and silver at the Paris Olympics in August 2024. It was indeed shameful that on such an occasion of national spirit, the parliamentary rep for Castries South, Honorable ERNEST HILAIRE, chose to contaminate this visit with his politically motivated actions. Many watched in amazement as Dr. Hilaire directed the community visit to the yard of his red-cladded constituency office. This was indeed an unfortunate and self-centered action by ERNEST HILAIRE. It is clear that Dr. Hilaire's politics knows no bounds. No one, not even Julien Alfred, is spared his maniacal mission of protecting the victory, which has metastasized into protecting ERNEST HILAIRE. Protection from what, we ask? If anyone needed protection, it was the community from his divisive and self-centered brand of politics, and Julien Alfred from the need to exploit her goodwill for political gain. The United Workers' Party Castries South constituency branch condemns most strongly the shameful actions of Dr. ERNEST HILAIRE. the parliamentary representative's actions can only be described as miscalculated, untimely, and desperate. We, along with many residents of the community of Cicero, are truly disheartened by the selfish and politically motivated actions of Dr. Hilaire, which ran contrary to the national spirit captured by the homecoming of our Queen, Julien Alfred. Perhaps Dr. Hilaire did not take tutorship from the lyrics of the Cicero Combined School Calypso monarch Mighty Myra's hit song, Run. Let's all run, run, run like Julien, run from all the corruption. Residents of Castries South and Cicero demand genuine representation which delivers sustainable benefits to our people, not the narrow and desperate action currently being employed by Dr. Hilaire after 3 years of abject failure. This is not the time for showmanship, manipulation, and empty promises. This is the time to show slate. So, until the next time we take a closer look at Castries South, St. Lucia, stay safe.